According to the Auditor General's report in 2016, DHS has monitored out-of-state EBT activity since 2012. However, from 2013 to 2015, out-of-state activity continues to exceed $70 million. I think it's very understandable that EBT transactions would happen in our border states. However, this report had found that these cards were used in all 50 states and the territories of Guam and the Virgin Islands. Also troubling, in my opinion, would be that $14 million excuse me, $14 million worth of transactions in Florida, which is more than all of our border states except New Jersey. Also $6 million in North Carolina. So one, has there been any changes in these numbers in 16 to 18, and has the department done anything to address this?
Lisa, I don't know if you want to come up.
Well, what I will say is that we have continued to look at all of the numbers that we have for our EBT transactions. I can't speak to the specific numbers that you're talking about, but as the Secretary mentioned earlier, we have procedures in place to certainly look at any out-of-state transactions, recognizing that individuals are allowed and permitted under the law to use their cards in other states. Now, obviously, if we were to see that there was consistent usage in other states, then it would allow us to do further research to determine if that individual was truly living out of state in which they would not be eligible for our benefits. And at that time, we would take the necessary steps to work with the OSIG to do the proper investigations.
Absolutely, and I would agree with that, but would you agree that $14 million in the state of Florida is a little alarming compared, seeing that that's higher than all of our border states, including West Virginia, Ohio, New York?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. So without having that specific report in front of me, I would imagine that we have actually referred those cases, if it was indeed that, to the OSIG for investigation.
Okay. Well, this was from the 2016 report, and these numbers, I mean, the $14 million is from 2013 to 2015 usage in Florida. But I guess if there's anything that's been done that you looked at, if you could provide me any information on what those numbers are in 16 to 18. I also don't know if the department would be able to provide it, but I would be curious to see what out-of-state spending is in our border states are too, compared to what we're doing in our own state. One other question, I just want to move on while I have time, and I want to quickly discuss authorized representatives, and I'm going to go back quickly to that report. But so those with physical or mental disabilities may appoint an authorized representative to obtain EBT benefits and use those benefits on their behalf. And also, according to that audit of DHS, close to $10 million of these benefits are being withdrawn annually by authorized representatives, which on the surface there's nothing wrong with. However, that report had discovered that the Inspector General is precluded from investigating and pursuing criminal charges against authorized representatives because DHS does not require them to review and sign the same information as cardholders. It is also noted that DHS has no way of knowing if the authorized representatives are appropriately using the benefits from the cardholders, who are often the most vulnerable recipients in the state. So I guess the same question there from that report in 2016, has there been any changes from the department?
Okay, so let me try and unpack. I think you had a lot of different statistics in there talking about our authorized representatives. And
so basically what I'm trying to get at is authorized, according to the Auditor General's report, the Inspector General is precluded from investigating and pursuing criminal charges against authorized representatives because DHS does not require them to review and sign the same information as cardholders. Are they now, since that report, has that changed?
to my knowledge, we have not changed that policy for authorized representatives.
Okay, is there a reason?
No, I think we would have to go back and look to see what specifically we have them assigned for. My guess off a first glance sitting here is that the individuals that are actually applying for benefits are those individuals that are seeking our services. So we are required to go through a lengthy process of identifying what they can have access to, what they can't, and it dictates the amount of documentation that they have to fill out. An authorized benefit representative doesn't have to sign all of the same documentation, but certainly we can look to see if there are other things that they need to sign off of for purposes of future prosecution with the OSIG.
Yeah, I guess that would definitely be appreciated. I guess it's just a little concern to me that according to this report, the DHS has no way of knowing whether these authorized representatives are appropriately using the funds. And to me, it just seems like a big hole that some of our most vulnerable people in the state of Pennsylvania could be easily taken advantage of. So I think that that's something that would definitely need to be looked into.
Well, we
and
can
my time
certainly-
is up, so I appreciate your time. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.